The system cannot be trusted. It does not serve the people. It obliterates families and children simply because it has the power to do so. The late Senator Nancy Schaefer. Greetings. My name is Joseph Yagar. Welcome to another Life in Perspective broadcast. My objective is to provide thought-provoking discussions so you can optimize your perspective on life. No judicial system in the world is perfect. Even in cases when following the letter of the law is attempted, mistakes can be made and innocent lives may be wrongfully accused. But while criminal law plays out like a chess game between defense and prosecution, family court is a world unto itself where the players representing justice are often playing double agents in order to sustain a lucrative system of corruption at the expense of parents and children whose lives are being financially and emotionally destroyed in the process. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so by clicking the subscribe link below. It's free and would be much appreciated. You may also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Family courts are not courts of law, but courts of equity. There is no jury, no guarantee of getting a transcript of the proceedings, nor is an attorney guaranteed to be provided if you cannot afford one. Without a transcript, it is almost impossible to appeal an unfavorable outcome or prove judicial misconduct. If a complaint against a judge is filed with the Commission on Judicial Performance, on which some members are judges, it is suggested that the plaintiff is often warned of retaliation. The amount of judges removed is paltry by comparison to the thousands of complaints filed with the Commission, and all investigations remain confidential. In cases with little money, no children, and when the two parties are rational, the conflict may be resolved fairly quickly and by mediation. In such cases, it isn't lucrative for the system to drag these cases at the expense of time that may be spent milking the bickering and spiteful high rollers. And although most marriages consummate in the name of love and without the intention of an ugly breakup, the rate of divorce is still overwhelmingly high at over 50%, while only about 5% of marriages have a prenup in place. That leaves a large pool of misery ripe for the taking, and the family court system is up for the hunt. Unlike Scandinavia, where divorce is a matter of filing a form with a modest ceiling on alimony and child support, and only 6-month waiting period when kids are involved, divorce in places like the US and the UK, for example, must pass by a judge. An uncontested divorce will rarely cause irreparable financial damage. However, a contested divorce requires $50,000 just to walk into the US courtroom. After that, the sky's the limit and the vultures are circling. So much so that divorce has become the 4th leading cause of bankruptcy. No wonder the amount of divorce attorneys in the state of California alone has increased by over 2,000%, and with over 2,000 pages of code on family law, they know they have you by the Even with judicial oversight in place, the scales are tipped in favor of the system by the conflict of interest that are internally created. For example, many judges go on to work as attorneys in the private sector upon retirement from the bench. They too have their sights and positions in some of the law firms the lawyers appearing before them represent. If you were a judge and one of the lawyers appearing before you is potentially a future partner, how would you rule for him in court? Furthermore, lawyers may contribute to re-election campaigns of and raise funds for judges before whom they appear in court. If you were a contributing attorney, would you contribute to a judge who rules against you? Quid pro quo is alive and well wherever it is to be had, and the family court system is no different. That doesn't mean that all participants play dirty, but the overwhelming number of similar experiences told suggests that perception is not misplaced. Therefore, whether we like it or not, the onus is on us to take responsibility to be well educated about the consequences of divorce before we enter into marriage. With the odds of divorce statistically stacked against us, we have only ourselves to blame if we fail to plan for it before it's too late. Unfortunately, the business of love is a business because of the litigious society we created. The law provides for amicable solutions because it's necessary rather than popular, especially when children are involved, because they are often the ones who pay the higher price emotionally for their parents' failure to plan. Ignorance is not an excuse. Despite all the protests and lobbying by families and the politicians who support them, the never-ending abyss of bureaucracy keeps kicking the can down the road with little accountability or transparency. There is so much more to uncover and discuss, and I will be back with more in the future. In the meantime, I can only suggest that we keep in mind that although falling in love is free, falling out of it is anything but. Please let me know what topics you would like my perspective on in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.